Back family, this is Mr. Brown. This is part one in our series, The Anatomy of a Hero. In today's video, I'm going to discuss the 10 different hero classes. All heroes are categorized into one of the 10 classes. With each class, there is a different talent. In order to activate that hero's talent, you need to place at least one emblem on the talent grid. You're able to access that talent grid once the hero is fully leveled up, including their special skill. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go here to the heroes. We're going to go up to darks. Okay, we're going to start off with Treevale right here. So as you can see, I have him fully leveled up plus his special skill 8 out of 8. And once you do that, it activates the talent grid, that button right there. So as you can see, I don't have any emblems on him yet. But if I do, with this talent grid, you can actually customize a hero in the way that you want to based on the pathway that you take. So now we're going to go over to the hero on his left, which is Budatin. And if you've noticed, I have this talent button there, which shows you what their talent is and the level that I have it, which is 3 out of 5. Now, if we go here to the talent grid, you'll see that 3 out of the 5 talents were selected. And they're selected once I choose a pathway to go towards. So that's 1, 2, 3. The more of those talents you have selected, the greater of a chance you have to activate their talent. All right, we're going to start off with the Barbarian class. We have Buster from the Christmas family, and the talent is Wound. After any normal attack, gives a chance to activate the following effects. Deal 60% of the damage done by the normal attack over 5 turns, which normal attack is when you send tiles into the opponent or when the computer actually hits you with a slash attack. If the target has this element, the previous element's remaining damage is added to the new element as additional damage. As good as that sounds, the barbarians were viewed as the weakest class, and it's not because the heroes under this class are weak, it's the fact that there are other talents that are significantly better than the barbarians. Um, I would say the downside with them is that the damage done from this icon is, I would say, very minimal. Um, and then the thing is, it can be cleansed, and you can't receive any of the damage from the special skill, so that's kind of a bummer. Uh, a little bit of history. It used to be bleed damage, and once Small Giants changed the icon that looks like an encapsulated axe, it allows the damage to be stacked with other ailments, which is probably the good side. Now, I would recommend you to take a barbarian to a titan battle. If you pair them up with other heroes of the same element, it allows you to increase the damage done by this talent. And I've seen it on a titan go up to over 1,000, and that's because I color stacked. And when you color stack, which is adding multiple heroes of the same element, it multiplies their tile damage. So that would probably be the best place for a barbarian. Next, we have Menesis from Season 2, part of the Cleric class, which is actually known to be one of the great classes. So let's go over here to Talent where it says Mana Shield. Gives a chance to resist negative mana effects and effects that prevent the use of special skills. And the reason why I'm not showing the percentages because some of the heroes here, you'll notice that I don't have them um, level 5 out of 5. So that's why I just basically say the chance to and not necessarily say what the percentage is. Now, this class is actually a very good class for the fact that if you try to add an ailment on them to prevent them from using their special skill, the Mana Shield will allow them to use it anyway. I would say that this class is probably better for a healer because you want the healer to still use their special skill regardless of what the opponents try to do to you. Now we have Cavalier from the Druid class. Season 3 hero, which is actually, he's a pretty good hero. So under their talent, we have Companion. If this character receives any damage by the end of an enemy turn, gives a chance to activate the following effects. Summon a Thorn minion with 15% health and 15% attack. Now the health isn't really a whole lot, although with 15% of this attack, it would probably make the minion about 200 health, which isn't too bad. They can be probably taken out by 2 slash attacks. Now, I think the Druid class is an underrated class. I think they make great tanks, and that's because if you hit them, they will keep spawning the minion. I would say they're probably best against other minion teams because if the minion keeps hitting this particular hero, it increases their chance of producing their own minions. Now, I would recommend taking a minion hero against a fiend hero because if the opponent applies fiends on you, if you get your companion summoned, if you do 3 activations, it could push that fiend out if you're not able to heal this hero. Also, I would recommend taking a druid to Bloody Battle because with these companions, they'll soak up some of the damage that the opponents try to inflict on you. Great class. I think they make pretty good tanks as well for that particular reason. And that makes me think of second costume for Cyprian. And if you faced him, you know how annoying it is when he keeps activating these companions. It just makes him so much harder to kill. Okay, next here we have Oberon from Season 1, part of the Fighter class, which we know is a great class of heroes. And their talent is Revive. When receiving a fatal attack, which is ultimately killing the hero, it gives them a chance to revive at the end of their turn. Now, as you all know, especially if this hero is a tank, which I think they make great tanks, it's very frustrating when you kill this hero, and if their mana is fully leveled up, especially if they're an AoE hitter, which is area of effect, or I used to call it attack on all, which I think is still applicable, then it allows this hero to inflict your whole team, which can have a chance of killing one of your heroes. I think, which there are not too many of them. I think fighters also make great healers because if you think you kill them and um, they revive and they heal your team, that could potentially save your team from a victory, receiving a victory, or actually gives them a greater chance of receiving a victory if they would have probably lost if that hero didn't revive. Okay, good. I got that out correctly. Now here we have Costum Nordry from Season 3, part of the Monk class, which I think is honestly an underrated class. Their talent is Withstand, which gives them a chance to resist status ailments, which, as you know, there are so many ailments out there, and it is pretty annoying that you keep trying to place ailments on this hero and they keep resisting it, which I think gives them that greater chance of survivability. The only downside I would see is that they're not able to withstand things like Wither or any stacks. Here we have Hilo from Season 4. This is a costume version. Paladin class, which we know is a great class of heroes. They're probably best suited as a tank, and because of their protect, which if this character receive any damage by the end of the enemy turn, they receive a chance to activate the following effects. This character gets a plus 25% defense for 2 turns. I would honestly place a paladin against a heavy minion team because with all those minion hits, it will constantly activate this protect. And as we know, paladins is one of the revered classes as well because of their high defense. Actually, I would also recommend you to take them against Fiend heroes because even that damage received from the Fiend will activate their increased defense. Here we have Fianna from the Hunters family, our Ranger class, which I honestly think this is another underrated class. I would have to say some of my favorite heroes fall into this class, and their talent is Pierce, which gives them a chance to bypass offensive buffs, including counterattacks. Which I would say this talent is a high risk, high reward. And the reason I say that is because if you're trying to bypass the counterattack, you do have a chance to um, bypass it, and you'll place the damage on that opponent, which they would have received. But the risky part is that if you aren't able to bypass, you'll receive damage from that counterattack. And the one that comes to mind is Divana because she's a ranger that hits three heroes. I would say the downside of her is that although she does dispel, she attacks first and then she dispels. So if you're attacking multiple heroes as a ranger, it actually there's a chance of you killing the hero just by trying to bypass that counterattack. Now, if your opponent has an increased defense and you bypass that, you ignore the fact that they have an increased defense, and you place the amount of damage that would have been done regardless of that. So here we have Maeve, rogue class, which is actually one of the best classes, and she is featured from the Slayer family. Her talent is Evade, which gives this hero a chance to dodge special skill damage. And the reason why this class is such a great class is because if you try to use your special skill against this hero, and if they dodge it, that will be pretty much a wasted special. Now, I'd say the downside about that is although they do evade the damage, they're not able to evade the ailment that's placed on that attack. Rogues actually make a very good they're a survivable character. Um yeah, probably like I said, they're one of the best classes that are out there. Here we have Costume Hawkmoon from the Costume Chamber, Sorcerer class, which I think is a bit step above the Barbarian, although they still have their benefits. Now, the special talent is Delay. If this character dealt any damage by the end of its turn, gives a chance to activate the following effects. Drop the mana generation of the target by minus 50% for 2 turns. I would say that it's an overlooked talent for sure, although it can be cleansed by the opponent. So I think that's the biggest downside. If it does hit a desired hero, it's actually pretty good, especially if the hero is a tank, because it pretty much potentially gives you a few extra turns to charge up your heroes before the opponent's hero gets charged up themselves. And for our final class, we have the wizard class. This is Riketri, and she's from season 5. And their talent is Jinx, which I think is a great skill. I would say this Jinx is probably this. I'm sorry, Wizard class is probably best suited for um, a hero that does like a area of effect, or they hit at least more than one target. And let's go into the talent, which is Jinx. When dealing damage through normal attacks and special skill, it gives them a chance to deal an extra 15% damage per each active buff. So if you have someone like Costume Marjana, who's a wizard, if you're going up against a team that has, let's just say they have, like attack up, defense up, all these other buffs that that all these that are out there. you have a chance to increase the damage done to those enemies by a pretty good amount. Great class, I think. If you have it on the right hero, it is a great class. So, okay, I think that's it for the videos. Those are all 10 classes. Tell me what you think. Don't hesitate to leave a comment. Make sure to hit the bell notification if you want to be notified of any other videos that I post. Make sure to give me a like button if you enjoyed this content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, and I mean it, family. Bye.